Imagine living in a time when the world was divided by war, kingdoms were falling, and powerful armies believed they could never be defeated. Now imagine one man rising from humble beginnings, not because he was born into greatness, but because he earned it through courage, wisdom, discipline, and faith. That man was Salahuddin Ayyubi, known to the world as Saladin. His story is not just about battles and victories. It is the story of a leader whose character became more powerful than his sword, whose mercy became more famous than his military achievements, and whose name continues to inspire people more than 800 years after his death. Before we begin, take a moment and ask yourself one question. What truly makes a great leader? Is it wealth? Is it power? Is it the size of an army? Or is it the ability to win the hearts of both friends and enemies? By the end of this video, you may discover that true greatness has very little to do with power and everything to do with character. Salahuddin Ayyubi was born in 1137 or 1138 in the city of Tikrit in present-day Iraq. He belonged to a Kurdish family that served Muslim rulers of the time. His family was respected, but they were far from being one of the richest or most influential families in the region. No one could have imagined that this young boy would one day change the course of history. As a child, Salahuddin was not obsessed with becoming a warrior. Instead, he loved learning. He studied religion, history, literature, and the teachings of Islam. These lessons shaped his personality and gave him a strong moral foundation. While many young men dreamed only of glory on the battlefield, Salahuddin understood that knowledge and wisdom were just as important as strength. As he grew older, he joined the military under his uncle, Shirkuh, who was one of the most trusted generals of Nur ad-Din, the ruler of Syria. This period became the turning point of his life. He learned strategy, leadership, patience, and the importance of discipline. More importantly, he learned that the purpose of power was to protect people, not to oppress them. When Salahuddin eventually became the ruler of Egypt, he faced enormous challenges. The Muslim world was divided into competing kingdoms. Political rivalries were everywhere. Some leaders cared more about their own power than the unity of the people. Salahuddin understood that no nation could become strong if it remained divided. Instead of focusing only on conquering lands, he focused on uniting hearts. This was not an easy task. Building trust required patience. Winning loyalty required justice. He treated scholars, soldiers, and ordinary citizens with respect. He improved administration, strengthened the economy, and encouraged education. His leadership was built on service rather than fear. As the years passed, one goal remained clear in his mind. Jerusalem, one of the holiest cities in the world, was under Crusader control. For decades, Muslims had dreamed of reclaiming it. But Salahuddin knew that emotional decisions often lead to failure. He spent years preparing carefully. He strengthened his armies, built alliances, and waited for the right moment. Then came the Battle of Hattin in 1187. This battle would become one of the greatest military victories in history. The Crusader army marched across dry land under the burning sun with limited access to water. Salahuddin used brilliant strategy instead of reckless attacks. His forces surrounded the Crusaders, cut off their supplies, and forced them into an impossible situation. When the battle ended, the Crusader army had suffered a devastating defeat. The victory opened the road to Jerusalem. But what happened next is what truly made Salahuddin unforgettable. Many rulers in history celebrated victory through revenge. Cities were destroyed. Innocent people suffered. Entire populations were punished. Salahuddin chose a different path. When Jerusalem surrendered, he did not order a massacre. He allowed many civilians to leave safely after paying a ransom, and many who could not afford it were freed through acts of generosity. Families were protected. Religious sites were respected. Christians and Jews were allowed to continue living and worshipping in the city under his rule. His actions surprised even his enemies. They expected revenge, but they witnessed mercy. This single decision transformed his reputation forever. Across Europe, stories began to spread about the Muslim ruler who defeated mighty armies, yet treated defeated people with dignity. Even some Christian writers described him as honorable, generous, and noble. Very few leaders in history have earned the respect of those who fought against them. But victory did not make Salahuddin arrogant. He continued living a relatively simple life. Despite ruling vast territories, he did not surround himself with excessive luxury. He believed that leadership was a responsibility, not a privilege. One famous story tells us that when Salahuddin died in 1193, he left behind very little personal wealth. Much of his money had been given to the poor, travelers, widows, and those in need. The ruler who controlled powerful kingdoms had almost nothing for himself. Think about that for a moment. Today, many people measure success by expensive houses, luxury cars, and bank accounts. Salahuddin measured success by justice, generosity, and service to others. His life teaches us that real wealth is not what we keep, it is what we give. Salahuddin also understood the importance of patience. He did not rush into every battle. He waited, planned, listened to advice, and made decisions carefully. He knew that emotions can win a moment, but wisdom wins generations. Another remarkable quality was his humility. No matter how many victories he achieved, he never believed he was above criticism or advice. He surrounded himself with knowledgeable people and respected their opinions. This is a lesson every leader should remember. The strongest leaders are not those who think they know everything. They are those who continue learning throughout their lives. His faith also played a central role in his character. He believed that every victory came from God and that every hardship carried a lesson. This belief gave him strength during difficult times and kept him humble during successful ones. History remembers countless kings who conquered cities. History remembers only a few who conquered hearts. That is why Salahuddin's name continues to live centuries after his death. Movies have been made about him. Books have been written about him. Historians from different cultures continue to study his leadership. Military academies analyze his strategies. Leadership experts admire his character. Students learn about his achievements, and ordinary people continue finding inspiration in his example. His story reminds us that greatness does not begin on the battlefield. It begins inside the human heart. It begins with honesty when no one is watching. It begins with discipline when life becomes difficult. It begins with kindness when revenge seems easier. It begins with patience when success takes longer than expected. Imagine what our families, communities, and nations would look like if more leaders chose integrity over ego, service over selfishness, and mercy over hatred. The world desperately needs those values today. Salahuddin Ayyubi's life is not simply a chapter in history. It is a timeless reminder that true leadership is built on character. Power eventually fades. Empires eventually disappear. Fame eventually ends. But good character leaves a legacy that survives for centuries. As you reflect on the life of Salahuddin Ayyubi, ask yourself one final question. What kind of legacy will you leave behind? Will people remember your possessions, or will they remember your kindness? Will they remember your titles or your honesty? Will they remember your victories or the way you treated others? History has already answered those questions for Salahuddin. That is why, after more than 800 years, his name still commands respect across the world. If this story inspired you, don't let the inspiration end here. Share this video with your family and friends so more people can learn about one of history's greatest leaders. If you enjoyed this video and want more powerful stories from Islamic and world history, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay curious, keep learning, and take care.